So when you went in, where did any area of trust go higher? You're like, oh man, I used to have no respect for those guys. I got a lot of respect for what those guys are doing. You used to go in and say, I never thought about those guys. Damn, those guys are dangerous after 7 years of being in. And then you went in and you said, oh, those are the guys I was studying. Those guys are 100 times more scary to the world than the media is even selling. And then the media, I used to really trust the media. Used to say, dude, I don't trust shit they say. Or I used to not trust what the media used to say. I actually trust what they have to say. What were some of the things where you flipped, where what you saw pre, and now you're on the inside, what flipped on you?
The biggest flip was media. The biggest flip out there was news. When I started seeing what real intelligence looks like and how real intelligence is collected, how information is vetted and processed and synthesized and turned into something useful, and then I would read the news, I realized that the news is garbage. Like even the best news sources out there, the most centrist, the most highly rated news sources out there, they are still a far cry from what they were in the 1950s. When journalism was alive, when there were still laws in place that forced you to have fair and balanced news. Right now, news organizations focus on feeding their audience base. That's what they do. And if they get too far off of their audience base, then they start to see a decrease in ratings and a decrease in ad revenue, and they can't have that, especially not now that people don't buy newspapers. So that was a massive flip for me. Important to remember that human beings are not left or right. Human beings are all a mix of both. We want what we want. We are motivated by the things that are important and motivate us. So you're not all red, you're not all blue. There's always a bell curve. So at the fat end of the bell curve, people are close to center. People believe in some things and believe in other things, but unfortunately, media doesn't give you a chance to be supportive of both. Media forces you to choose one or the other. And then they feed you lines from one or the other. And they move you closer and closer to the outsides of the bell curve until you choose to just stop reading the news, or you choose to just stop watching TV, or you choose to sit around and drink beer and watch sports games and bitch about the news all day, right? But media is in the business of forcing you to one side or the other. Human beings are not like that, right? I believe a woman should have the choice to take care of her own body. I do believe in the sanctity of life, but a woman should have the choice to take care of her own body. But the government does not need to tax me at 40%. I can spend my money wisely on my own. I don't need them to police my money. I don't need them to police like what I'm doing in my bedroom. I don't need the government to police how I raise my children, or whether they're homeschooled or private schooled, or whether I'm dissatisfied with the public school, right? We're all a mix of all sorts of different positions, and we are all getting frustrated by being forced to pick one side or the other.
Whose sources that they legitimately trust? Like you're saying, you don't trust the media. That was like your biggest discrepancy with what today. Like what outlets you say? Okay, because Pat said that when it comes to polls, he said Pew and what was the other one? Rasmussen?
Gallup.
He trusts that. All right. They're not 100% accurate, but with a level of certainty, probability, like you termed to use. Yep. What media outlets do you trust?
So I don't trust any of them fully. At best, I trust about 85%. The way that I handle the news is I will read competing news sources on the same coverage on purpose and see where they overlap, right?
Give us an example. So, like the Wall Street Journal.
So The Economist.
Okay.
The Economist is a great example.
We got 2 minutes, just so you know.
Absolutely,
Go ahead.
sir. The Economist is a great example. CNN is a great example. Fox News is not such a great example. Yahoo News is actually a decent. USA Today is actually a decent example. Al Jazeera is a decent example. BBC is a decent example. These are all places that I'm like 80, 85%. Even though they consistently,
what did you say about MSNBC?
Consistently lean one side. I don't look at MSNBC.
How about CNN?
CNN's on my list only because they were very consistently left. And when I started seeing them trash talking Biden about 9 months ago, I was like, there's a change in CNN, right? They still go with popular opinion. They're still just trying to sell ad space, right? But when it comes to who's going to get my time, I'll look at them. I'll cross-reference them. I'll see what's the same. I'll see what's different. I'll believe what's the same, and I'll challenge what's different.